Let us just try creating a simple curve library. Okay, so once you create a particular curve library, this are the options. So let it remain as it is. Now, once you define a plane, so over here, let us consider that you are entering a value of 2 meters. And now after this, you have these two options, that is by distance, and then you have by ratio option. Okay, so what does this by distance and then by ratio option mean? Okay, so let us consider that you are creating a plane with by distance. Okay, so that means that this particular plane shall be at a distance of 2 meters from the start point. So over here you have this reference point. Let us consider that we are keeping the reference point as same. So this particular plane shall be at a distance of 2 meters from the starting plane. Okay, so now let us just click on this apply button. Okay, next, if you enter a value as 6 meters and if you click on the add button, then you can see that this particular plane shall be at a distance of 6 meters from the starting plane. Okay, now let us consider that you are making it as 8 meters, and if you choose by ratio, okay, and when you are choosing by ratio, what happens is that this particular plane is at a distance of 8 meters from the starting plane, and it is at a distance of 2 meters from the end plane. Okay, so the total distance is 10 meters. Okay, so you can assign the curve library to a larger layout. For example, currently the length of the curve library is 10 meters. You can assign the same curve library to a higher layout, that is having a length of maybe some 30 meters, right? So in such case, if you have a particular plane which is at a distance of 8 meters, then when it comes to the 30 meters, so that would be maintaining the same ratio. That is, it would be located distance of 8 by 10 of that particular 30 meter. Okay, so you might be confused right now, but I shall explain it in detail. Okay, so for that, let us now go to one of the curve library that we have created. So let's just enter that particular curve library. So this particular plane, it is at a distance of 5 meters from the starting plane. Okay, it is by distance 5 meters. Okay, and the total length is 10 meters. And we have created a path between these two planes, and then we have assigned this user section. Okay, next let us go to another curve library. So in this, if you go to this particular plane and if you go to the properties, you can see that this is by ratio. Okay, so this is by ratio, but the distance is same, that is 5 meters, and the total length is 10 meters. Okay, so now let us assign these values to the same layout. So for example, if you go to this by distance layout, so basically this is a layout and the length is 30 meters. Okay, and now if you go to this particular layout, this is also 30 meters. So basically you have two same layouts. Now let us assign the by distance to this particular layout. So let us go to curve, assign, and then let's choose by distance, select this, and then let's click on apply button. Okay, so now you can see that even though the total length is 30 meters, this member is created up to a distance of 5 meters. Okay, so if you go to this particular model, if you go to measure, okay, and let us just measure one point to the other end point. Now this is 5 meters. So if you remember, it was when we defined a particular plane, okay, the plane was at a distance of 5 meters from the starting plane. So the distance of the member is same even though we have assigned the member to a layout of higher length. So now let us see what change does it make when we use the by ratio option. So for that, again, let's go to the curve library. Let's click on assign. And let us choose by ratio. Okay, and let us select this layout, and once you click on the apply button, then you can see that the length got modified. Okay, so let's go to model and let's click on measure, and if you choose the first point and if you choose the end point, then you can see that the length is 15 meters. Okay, so earlier the plane was at a ratio of 5 by 10, that is 1:2. So the plane would be located at the same ratio whenever we are assigning it to a layer, whenever we are assigning it to a layout or to an assembly unit. Okay, so in this case it is 15 meters. So 15 divided by 30, so it has got the same ratio as 1:2, and the ratio is same as 5:10. Okay, so basically what happens is that whenever you use the by distance option, the distance of the plane is maintained as it is with respect to the reference point. Whenever you use the by ratio option, the particular plane's location gets adjusted according to the ratio of that particular plane